What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast. Now, I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if Hitman 2 is more than just DLC for Hitman 1. So I want to talk a little bit about what I've been reading and seeing of Hitman 2. This is the release date of Hitman 2, so it's coming out today. So I felt it was a good time just to give my general impressions of what I've been seeing about this game. And talk about one of the major things I think talked about this game as we've been getting closer and closer to the release over the weekend. Over the last, the ending of last week, we got a lot of reviews. A lot of reviews of this game are now. The embargo of this game was lifted a couple days ago, so we got a lot of people talking about this game. We got some people allowed to post some playthroughs of this game on YouTube and a lot of other places, and so we've gotten a good taste of what this Hitman game is, and what it actually is to Hitman. And one of the major things talked about of this game as we get closer is it just DLC for Hitman 1? A lot of people, even sites that are praising the game, and the game is getting relatively good scores. At the time of recording this, which is only a couple days before the video goes up, it has an 81 on Metacritic. So that's, Metacritic, I think, for gaming is a relatively good way of showing all of the review sites for it. It doesn't get all of them. It's not the best, but for games, it does a lot better than movies. 81 is very, very good. And, a lot of actual developers sometimes even base bonuses for the developers based off of Metacritic. So Metacritic is somewhat reliable. And 81 is a very good score. It's, it's a good score, maybe even a great score. But like I said, even in the videos and the reviews and all of the stuff talking about the game, praising it, still one of the major things that comes up is it feels like it's just more Hitman. And I actually was reading a Kotaku article that was saying it's not just more Hitman, it's a lot more Hitman. It does more than just what people are saying. And well, here's the thing, from everything I've seen of this game and read of this game, it really is just an extension of the first Hitman game. Now, what I would say to that, though, is that is not a bad thing. I actually think that's a fine thing, because the major problem for me in the first Hitman game, I said in my preview of this game, is that it was episodic. And I really think an episodic way of doing things for a game like that, a AAA game, does not work in the slightest. And I don't think it worked for that Hitman. Having, each map come out separately as the DLC, as a season kind of thing, it just didn't work. And this game feels like a season put into just a whole. It's got 6 maps, but it feels like an extra season to the first Hitman game. But again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The first Hitman game, the game that came out in 2016, I should say, was super, super good. It really expanded the open world kind of map, so many different ways of handling situations, and this game is just going, a little bit step forward with that. It's just doing more of it. Now, the question is that a good thing? Did it really take a positive step up? And, I'm going to honestly say no. I feel like no is the answer. Is it a bad thing that it didn't? I don't necessarily think so, because I feel like this game is, catered to a certain group of people. I don't think, that just because it doesn't take a revolutionary next step doesn't really hurt it all that much. That's what the 2016 Hitman game did. This one, I think, is just, for me personally, I would be more inclined to buy this game than I would have been to buy the first Hitman game, just because it's all together. It's all in one single package. Now, if you're not a Hitman fan and you hear all this stuff, you hear people just saying, it just feels like the 2016 Hitman, and say you got that, this is a tough period of time to justify going to get it. It seems to be, although, a period of time where we're just not going to get some really good games. Overkill's The Walking Dead seemed to be an absolute failure. Fallout 76 comes out tomorrow, but everything that I read about that game, kind of makes it sound like that game is going to be a complete bomb. So, maybe Hitman is the best of all of these games. Spyro comes out today, so maybe Spyro and Hitman, for some reason, come out of this as the best games November. It'd be very, very strange. I wouldn't have predicted that going into this year, but we may actually be there. So overall, again, is it the step up that maybe Hitman needed? No, but what I feel like it does is it keeps the formula that actually works, and it adds on, and it just actually puts it into one big bundle, and it adds more. It's not just that it's all together. It's an actual game, 6 maps on one disc. You can buy it, you get the whole package deal all in one. It's not just that, it's that, but it's taking what really did work about the first Hitman, and really all the Hitman games have always done very good review-wise, and people have always praised them, and the mechanics of those games have always been the strength of that franchise. It really has always worked, I think, and 2016's Hitman definitely improved upon that. And so what do you do for this one? Well, it's only 2 years after that, and the first one, the way they did it and the way the episodes came out, they probably didn't have a lot of turnaround time to develop a second game. It really probably is designed like just a natural season 2 to a season 1 of Hitman. Now, if there's another Hitman in 2-3 years, I would expect that one to start to take the next step and start to revolutionize Hitman again, start to really add the next new new thing to the Hitman franchise. But for now, I feel like this is enough. I feel like this is enough to get people in. But at the end of the day, you know, for people that are outside the Hitman circle, I actually don't think it's enough because it really does just feel like the first game. So let me know in the comments below, guys, where do you stand on Hitman? Do you think Hitman 2 is a big enough step up to actually justify buying it in this busy November time? Let me know. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you on the next one.